What is going on, everybody? My name is SpangleNuts, and thank you for joining me in this care package video. This is probably one of the first videos that I've really planned ahead for, and did my homework and put a lot of effort into it. So, if you appreciate this video, please leave it a like at the end. If not, you know, that's cool too. But there's a lot of good information in here. So what is this? Basically, Dying Rock and I set out with a goal to get 100 care packages and document what we got out of each one. Here you can see I'm just demolishing these bots. This is probably the fastest way to do it. So we went and played against 8 or 9 bots. Got 100 care packages. Took about an hour and a half, I believe. Here you can see I have like 4 care packages back there right now. And yeah, I'm just racking them up. So I get one, I toss it, get another one, toss it. And it was actually kind of fun. But the goal was to see what you actually get out of these care packages. I haven't seen one video on YouTube yet that explains it, so hopefully we can come up with some answers and offer some suggestions and make you a better informed player. So basically what we have are 6 columns. The first column is labeled score streaks, and I basically just listed all of the score streaks, and I kept the care package in there. Even though you can't get a care package from a care package and you can't re-roll a care package from a care package. But I kept it in there because it's nice to see where it falls within the score streaks. Now the second column lists all the points that are required to get each score streak if you were to get them outright. Now the third and fourth column are the meat and potatoes of this video. This shows exactly what we got from the original care package and what we got after we re-rolled the care package. And then the last 2 columns, worse and better, basically show what percentage worse and better you will likely get if you re-roll a care package. It's not showing anything about the first drop, it's just if you re-roll it. So take a sentry gun for example. If you re-roll a sentry gun, 56% of the time you're going to get something worse, and 44% of the time you're going to get something better. Okay, now let's go over the data. So starting off at the top, we got UAVs 10% of the time, RCXDs 7% of the time, Hunter Killers 13% of the time, Counter UAVs 11% of the time, and Guardians 9% of the time. Now those numbers make up approximately 50% of what we got from the very first original care package. Going down the line to number 7, the Hellstorm missile, 13% of the time we got Hellstorm missiles. 5% of the time we got Lightning Strike and Sentry Gun. Now I draw the line right there because anything above that, from UAV to Sentry, makes up what we got 75% of the time. That's 3 out of 4 care packages. The original care package, we got basically a support, like a high support, low assault type score streak. Now going down to the red section, you see the numbers drop off drastically. We have Death Machine at 4%. The War Machine was at 7%. That's kind of like a wild card there because we did get higher numbers with that than I was expecting. Then the Dragonfire 3%, and then AGR and everything else below is just 4% or less. Now EMP and Warthog and Lodestar, we didn't even get those. We did get a K9 unit and a Swarm. I think we got our Swarm on our 98th care package, so we barely lucked out and got one of those. I think it's safe to say that 1% of the time or less you will get one of the very high score streaks. On to re-rolling the care packages. I'm not going to go over all these because you can see the line. Basically, approximately 50% of the time dropped down and gave us Hellstorm missile when we re-rolled them. And then the 75% line basically stayed the same. One thing to note is that between the original care package and the re-rolled, it appears that the UAV and the Hunter Killer dropped off. You can see it went from 10% to 6% and 13% for the Hunter Killer to 8%. And then the RCXD, after re-rolling, we ended up getting them 15 times. And the Sentry Gun went from 5% of the time to 16% of the time. So it appears the RCXD and the Sentry Gun have a higher re-roll rate. And then for the red, pretty much the same as for the original care package. You're rarely going to get these. we did see a little bit of a jump for the orbital VSAT. We got that 7% of the time on a reroll, but really you're rarely gonna get these higher score streaks. And then the last two columns, rerolled and got worse, rerolled and got better, basically shows compared to above and below, whichever score streak you're looking at, what percentage is better and what percentage is worse. Now by worse, I mean it's easier to get because it's a lower score streak, and this is all just, you know, just flat out numbers. There's no like speculation or anything. And then by better, I mean, you know, a better kill streak than a sentry would be a swarm. So you're saying 44% of the time for a sentry gun, you're going to get something better, and 56% of the time, you're going to get something worse. And finally, when should you use care packages and when should you reroll? In my opinion, it only really makes sense to use care package if you use one or more support streak, and basically I categorize that as 1 through 6, basically anything in the yellow. And you're only going to re-roll them if you want to try and get a different support streak, or maybe something a little bit better, or maybe something that's got a little bit more assault in it, you know, like a lightning strike or a sentry. So if you're using anything from 1 through 6, I would say throw in a care package instead of one of those. So if you typically use UAV or counter UAV, throw in a care package, because most times you're going to get a UAV or a counter UAV, but you have a small chance of getting something better. So why not just use a care package, and if you don't like it, re-roll it and take what you got. Good chance you're going to still have a support streak, but there's also a small chance, you know, a 1 in 4 chance that you might actually get something with some firepower, like a death machine or a lodestar. And when I would not use a care package, I would not use a care package if I was the kind of player that only used assault streaks, and you know, basically I categorize that by anything in the red. That's your lowest percentage of getting any of those. So if you do use you know, AGR, EMP, and then swarm or something like that, or commonly I see the orbital VSAT, dogs, and swarm, I mean, don't even think about using a care package. But if you are the kind of player that uses anything from 1 through 9 as a kind of boost, and then you use your 2 other score streaks in the red, then you might want to consider throwing in a care package, because just like I said, most times you're going to get one of those 1 through 9, but there's a small chance you could get one of the red. And if that happens, then you'll have all 3 deadly score streaks. Now one last thing I want to go over is the engineer perk. Is it worth it solely if you are intending on re-rolling care packages? Now I personally run the engineer perk, but I never really re-roll care packages. I always just kind of like forget about it. I use engineer because I hate mounts and betties and claymores, and they delay the time that they set off. But for re-rolling care packages, I would say do not use engineer if you only are interested in re-rolling the care package, because most of the time you're just going to get a very similar score streak than to what you already have. I also went ahead and saved this as a JPEG and uploaded it to the internet so that everybody could download it. So check the description for the link, and it's just a JPEG. You just download it and you can have it as an easy reference. And I think this is probably one of the better videos I've ever made. So I would appreciate a like, a favorite, a tweet, you know, a retweet, because I think there's some great information in this video, so please share it. The more people in the know, the better. And on that note, my name is SpangleNuts. I would like to thank you for viewing, and I will catch you next time. Up, down, up, down.